Alright, you guys, this video should help you complete the worksheet that you're making in Module 3. It's Lab 2. It's the last assignment you'll complete for Module 3, Part 2. And it begins on page 181. And what you're looking at this screen is completed through step 11 on page 182. So our next step is to calculate the federal tax withheld, and that's step 12 in your textbook, and we're going to calculate that in column I here. Okay, before we actually type a formula into the cell, we're going to use this little scratch pad down here, and we're going to map out the if statement before we type it in there so we can talk our way through it. Okay, so looking at step 12, calculate the federal tax withheld. Okay. First part of that is if an employee has a taxable income of greater than or equal to $689, the statement begins with the word if, so you know that's going to be the logical test. So if an employee has a taxable income, and that is in column F, so F4 greater than or equal to $689, that number is given to us by the federal government. Alright, so that's our logical test. If it is greater than or equal to $689, then we're going to go on and calculate the federal tax by starting with $110.85 plus the federal tax rate that's in cell B19. So we're going to type in B19, and then we're going to multiply that by the taxable income in excess of $689. So we're going to have to calculate that, so we need parentheses here. So we want to use the taxable income in F4 minus 689 to get the excess. Okay, I think we've got the what if it's true portion done. 110.85 plus the tax rate times the amount over $689. Alright, so then a comma, so we can start the what if it's false section, and that's the next sentence. If an employee's taxable income is $689 or less, the federal tax withheld equals the taxable income multiplied by the federal tax rate in B18. And that should complete our if statement. Now, we're going to drop that into column I, but before we do, let's talk about the absolute references again. So whenever you're referring to an area away from your spreadsheet, such as these tax rates, and you're going to be copying the formula down or across, you've got to make that an absolute reference. So we need to go back into B19 and make that absolute, so when it's copied it will absolutely stay B19, and do the same thing for B18. Okay, I think we've got the formula ready to go. So I am just going to copy and paste this in. You guys wouldn't be using this text box. I was just using it to talk us through it. I'm going to copy that and paste it in the federal tax cell, and let's see how it goes. And checking back to the picture on page 181, it looks like we have the right number. Okay, so let's copy that down. And let's look and see if they're all going to match up. Oh, it looks like it worked. Okay, so I hope that helps you with the federal tax portion in step 12 of this assignment. That is a pretty hefty if statement, so pat yourself on the back. If you happened to be writing a text box along with my video, you can just delete that, save, and move on.